Hi, I'm Lindsay, and I'm here to talk about the Well-Educated Heart, and we are planning for month 4, which the topics for that are plants and trees, Rome, Greece, Italy, George Washington, and obviously Christmas, although that's not one of the topics that's listed on the website. But we do Christmas for month 4 because it's December. So I'm going to show you how I use my schedule that I created. It is in the group, the Well-Educated Heart Facebook group. I've shared it there with and without the subjects on the side. So there's a blank one. And then I have another one that has 3 terms. I didn't print it out, but it has 3 terms, so you can do like more long-term planning, like for the whole year. But right now we're going to use this blank schedule for month 4. It says the month at the top. I think this is backwards, but I don't know. And then I have all my subjects because I live in a state where I have to count hours. So, and then I have core subjects, which are just the basic, language arts, math, science, social studies, history, etc. So I have to count the core subjects, and then down here I have a spot for non-core. So that would be like arguably art, PE. Oh, hello. So that's what I have. I have a blank. I've posted this exact plan page and one with no subjects in the Facebook group for the Well-Educated Heart. So you can use either. First thing you have to do is when you're starting, when you're starting a new month, you have to figure out how many weeks you're going to be meeting. So for December, we have 4 weeks in this December. And then the next thing you're going to do is get out all your Well-Educated Heart books that you have, or I highly recommend purchasing this from their website. I think you can download it. I think you can download this reading record. I don't know for sure, but you can buy this from Libraries of Hope is their website, the store. You can purchase the physical copy. I highly recommend, if you're going to buy only one thing from her, Marlene Peterson's Libraries of Hope, I would do this, because when you're looking for topics for the month, there's no way to search on the website. You can't search, you can't even search, you could search George Washington because there's a book called The Stories of George Washington, but if you wanted to search like daffodils or something, you can't, there's no way to find out which book has that. Or if you're searching for a particular person or a story or an artist, a composer, anything like that, if you're looking for something specific, you want to have this, because this has okay, so this has the month, okay, and then it has every month 4 book from all of the series that have been published so far. So we have Stories of Plants and Trees from the Nature series, and you can see that it has, sorry, my child is stolen the thing to prop my phone up. Anyway, so this says the Stories of Plants and Trees, and then you can see here it says the sections, fruits and seeds, how baby plants live. I can't talk. Roots and stems, leaves, flowers, learning to see, etc. So you can see the topics in here. And the most important part of this is that whether you're doing, so say, for example, you are part of Belle at Home, or if you are doing this schedule planning, or if you are using just the random method that Marlene Peterson has on the Libraries of Hope website, which you could do, just pick a book and read something from the book and then make a notebooking page, or you can use a bingo sheet, and that is what I think most people use that. I don't know. But that's how I started, was the bingo sheet. So if you're going to do that, you need to be able to keep track of the things that you've already covered with your kids. Of course, you can always come back and do it again. But for me, I want to make sure that I'm covering certain, you know, the randomness is fine, but I want to know, like, what did we do last year, you know? So this is important to have, the reading record. Okay, once you have all the things, so I have a big stack of books here I'm going to show. Here's everything that I've pulled off my shelf for month 4 topics. Remember, it's plants and trees, George Washington, Italy, Greece, Rome, and then the mother's topic is art for month 4, I think. And then you can pull all your Christmas books if you want. That's what I have here. So you're going to do that. You're going to get your reading record. You're going to say to yourself, you know, what do I want to focus on? Because that's what we're doing in this video, is picking, just having a plan, because I need to have a plan. I can't just randomly, I mean, I could, but I have to have some sort of a plan. So that's what we're doing. We're planning it out. So for me, I've started down here in the science section, and I've started with plants and trees. The stories of plants and trees from the nature series. And this particular volume has three out of print books. Plants and Their Children by Mrs. William Starr Dana. The Garden of Earth by Agnes Gibberne. The Story of a Thousand-Year Pine by Otis A. Mills. Okay, so those are the 3 topics. We did the first section, Plants and Their Children, last year. Oh my gosh. And because I like a good old-fashioned book review, here is some of the drawings that are in the Plants and Trees, Plants and Their Children section. That is the one that we have read from before. And then, okay, the Garden of Earth, that is what we are going to use. If I can get to the beginning. Okay. So it just starts in the middle of the book. It's on page 264 for anyone who's wondering. And we are going to do, here's some more pictures from it. We're going to do the first 3 sections from this particular book in week 1, okay? Then we're going to do another, like a nature journaling activity, but we're going to do the first 3 sections. I like to go in order of the stories. So I like to pick a section and just read the, you know, through the whole topic of the section. I don't want to read just one chapter from this and then jump around to a different chapter. I want to read what the author has to say about the topic. Does that make sense? So I'm going to choose the first 3 sections from the Garden of Earth for the first week, and then the next week we're going to move on to the 4th section, and then the 4th section, it talks about the parts of the plants. Okay, I can't really find it. Here's some more of the images. Okay, so it talks about the parts of the plants. So that's going to be week 2, and so you go on from there. You have the 3 weeks, and that way you kind of have an idea, so you can be prepared. So the first section was talking about the different classes of plants, and then the second section, which will be the second week, talks about the parts of the plant. So if you want to have a notebooking page that you're going to do as the parent, or a worksheet even, just so that you have a picture already existing as an example of the parts of the plants. Or you can get a plant and label it yourself. You could draw a picture, any of those things, but it requires preparation to do that. So for me, I need to plan that. So that's what we're going to be doing. So the second week is the parts of the plants. I'm going to figure out some sort of hands-on or literal application for that reading. Okay, maybe they can copy it into their journals, or maybe they can find a plant and label its parts, etc. You could even do flower pressing and then label the parts. So this is going to enable us to have more flexibility about what we're going to be doing, okay? Then you just go on from there with the books. So for history, for example, I'm going to fill this out and then I will share a picture of it at the end. But for the history, we're going to read from the Stories of George Washington from the Freedom series, which is this one. And this one has The True Story of George Washington by Elbridge Brooks, The Life of George Washington by Mason Weems, and Selections from Recollections and Private Memoirs of Washington by G.W. Parke Custis. So I will be choosing, hopefully, I haven't selected these yet, but I'm going to be choosing a couple chapters from this. We're going to do, you don't have to do just one chapter, but depending on how old your kids are or how used to reading aloud they are, you can pick 1 or 2 chapters or whatever it is per week. And then we are going to alternate from there's a baby up here. From one of these two, The Great Lives or The Stories of Greece and Rome from the World History series. So we're going to just use those 3 books for history. And it's okay if you don't use all 3. You can do whatever you want as long as you just have a plan in mind. That's what we're doing. Okay. Then for us, we are Catholic, so we follow the liturgical calendar for Advent. So we're going to be, you have to come over here so you don't fall. We're going to be doing that for Bible and catechism, or if you have like a different for your faith formation type of thing, you could do that. But for us, we're using the New Catholic Picture Bible, which is this one. I love this one. It's my favorite. For littler kids and for older kids, you could just do the scripture passages. You could just select them or they could pick it. Or the Well Educated Heart does have Bible stories, and I think it's the King James version of the Bible. And then for literature, oh my goodness, for literature, we're going to read the Christmas Porringer. This is in I think it's the Sunshine series or the Story Hour series, Stories of Christmas. I just got the standalone book because it's easier to hold. It's smaller. Okay, so I'm going to use the Well Educated Heart book selections for my core subjects, okay? So I'm going to start with the science or nature study, history, literature, and then music, art, poetry, and story. And that you could kind of think about like interchangeable for riches. I know someone in the group had asked if anyone had put the Ambleside books from Ambleside Online books into the rotation, and I feel like in theory that sounds like it would work out, but the Ambleside books kind of cover a broader section of things. So you couldn't really do all of the Plutarch's Lives or all of the Shakespeare from their rotation in 1 month. I feel like you could. I mean, maybe with older kids, but anyways, so on my schedule, I have music, art, poetry, and story, which is basically like the riches. So I will be using our Bible and Catechism. For the Bible and Catechism, I will be doing basically riches for this, music, art, poetry, and story. So we do like a riches / morning time situation. And then for literature, I will still kind of choose something from the books from the Well Educated Heart, but we try to do one family read aloud. Like, I don't put a time limit on it, but that would be our literature. And then I also choose picture books or, just a random book. And I won't necessarily schedule those, but I will go in after the fact and fill that out. Because I like to use the picture books. I have the Cranberry Christmas, and then some other like more Christmassy books for picture books. So I'm not going to schedule those. This is a really good one. This is a really good one. And I have some more like Advent ones. But anyways, I will not be scheduling those on here. You could if you wanted to. I'm just going to be scheduling the literature. So for my older child, okay, so my older child, who's a freshman, I'm gonna assign more. She's currently reading The Hobbit because she was doing year 6 from Ambleside. So I'll probably just stretch that out over this month. I think she's almost finished. I don't know. Okay, so that is how I use this to plan. I will fill this out. Bless you. I will fill this out and then post a picture of it all filled out. Another thing that I was going to point out is that you could, for the riches or morning time section of this, you can use my Book of Delights. Okay, this has artwork, poems, stories, all different things. Here's a poem. You can use that if you want to stick with the Well-Educated Heart things. There's also a book of poetry. I don't know if it belongs in a series or if it was just a standalone one, but I don't know. I will check. I will find out what that's called. Also for literature, you could use the classic lit books from the Well-Educated Heart. They're the pocket size ones. I also have those, but I didn't pull them off the shelf. But the last thing is that this fine art storybook has full-size images of the paintings and little bios about the artist. So you could also use this for maps, music, art, poetry, story, or riches if you wanted to substitute, because we have been using the Well-Educated Heart for multiple years, but we did one term of Ambleside, so we're going to kind of switch back over. Even though I liked it, I just like the Well-Educated Heart more. So hopefully this helps someone. I will share a picture once I'm all done with this. And then I'll also do a video about all the extra books that we had. Like the picture books, if that helps anyone. So if you have any questions, you can definitely ask me below, or you can ask me in the Facebook group. I shared in there our things to know. I've been sharing one things to know page from our morning menus, which it just has like pictures, it has maps, it has little images to sort of make a mental note of what we're learning about so that the kids can remember, because they're still pretty small. Okay, so I hope that helps someone. Here's the schedule. I'm going to fill it out. And thanks for watching.